Welcome back to the Mayor's Update. We look like we just lost. There we go. The Mayor's back online. We just,
Yes, I pushed a button when I shouldn't have. I went to wave, I hit the screen, and somehow it's really sensitive tonight, just like me. And so, sorry I wasn't here for the grand opening of Mayor's Update tonight, but I'm here. It's great.
oh,
Grayden and I
yeah.
are
And it's
doing
July
it from two
14th.
different. It is July 14th. It's my younger brother's birthday today, and I talked to him on the telephone because he sells wheelchairs. He's the vice president
Hmm.
for Motion. They do wheelchairs and scooters and such. And a city somewhere in the West outlawed scooters on sidewalks, like
Yep.
mobility scooters on sidewalks. And so he called to get a mayor's opinion on that tonight. So I got to wish him
Oh.
happy birthday directly. Um, Anyway, hey, way to go. Hey,
Mhm.
Grayden, chair of the Downtown Development Board, I'm not sure I could say that Nostalgia Night was ever as good as that one. I
It
mean,
was
that was
phenomenal.
a crowd, and
Yep.
and I kept finding people not from St. Thomas and how proud they were, what they were saying. Boy,
Mhm.
we should do this, insert their city here,
Yep.
kind of
I know.
conversations. It was really quite good. How many people, the car people come from all over, but the people of St. Thomas come out and see those cars. So it's
Mhm.
such a great thing. I love what we did over on the Moore Street grass area. It was a great little kind of
Mhm.
marketplace there. Um, how many vendors, how many of our downtown businesses
Yep.
were out on their front steps doing some visible stuff about what they sell in their stores. Incredible, incredible. Can't be
Mhm.
better. Um, now I'm looking forward to Oktoberfest. Right?
Yeah, it's coming up fast.
Yeah. Uh, in September, folks, because it's
September.
Oktoberfest. Because yeah. Anyway, um,
Because we
we
did
got
it
a
one time in
butt.
October, and
Yeah.
it was insane. So we
It was
decided we would do what the Germans do and start it in September.
right. It was a royal wedding that used to happen in October that I think got moved to September so they could have way better weather for the event for
Yeah.
subsequent years, and it's never changed back in Munich. Right? So, hey, I wanted to show off the Chamber's downtown or passport. It's not just downtown, but the Chamber of Commerce, St. Thomas and District. And if you haven't got yours, there's some pretty good deals in the middle of
Mhm.
it. But it's also kind of a passport to go out and see a bunch of great businesses in our community. So thought I'd start off with that. Of course, the incredible Jennifer has prepared our list tonight of events, and it's a little shorter because as Grayden and I announce them all, they fall further down the list as they get reannounced and reannounced,
Mhm.
and so there's a few there tonight. But not to be outdone, council was very long last night because it was the one council meeting in July. So I've got a number of things to report from the council too. But
Mhm.
whatever order we want to go in, we can do it. I
Yeah.
drove I drove downtown yesterday too, right? And boy, downtown cleaned up pretty quick. And I guess the real question is we don't mess it up too much when we're doing something like Nostalgia Nights. The
We have to
people
give
are
a shout out to
very careful.
the
Yeah,
participants. They really do a great job of using the garbage bins and
yeah.
not littering, and it's incredible. The teams go out after, and maybe it's about an hour, hour and a half of cleanup,
Yeah.
and then good to go.
Well, and a lot of volunteer help, and I
Mhm.
hope we can carry that on for Oktoberfest. That's not as easy because you're back into the school year then too. But we had a great group of all sorts of helpers, and Councillor Herbert was out helping me. We walked both all the way, both ways on Talbot Street,
Mhm.
and trying to stop in and say hi to as many stores as we can.
Yep.
And I started off, Gaten, you'd love this. I started off trying to do a bit of an inventory of why is there not a business in this building? Why is
Mhm.
there not a business in this building? So we got some more questions we can still answer because there's a couple of real beautiful stores out there
Oh, yeah.
that are still on that exit thing that we're going to try and work with our fire department. So let's we'll keep that up too. Right?
Yeah, and I wanna give a shout out as well to the teams from the St. Thomas Economic Development Corporation,
Yes.
Small Business Enterprise Center,
Yeah.
Railway State Tourism, who also helped us pull off Nostalgia
Yeah.
Nights. We
Yeah.
couldn't do it without the teamwork and the city as well, all the city facilities, so parks and
Oh,
facilities.
right.
It's just incredible.
For picnic tables, barriers,
Yeah.
and all the stuff, and the
Roads.
great work of all of our. I saw the special
Yeah.
constables. We had some great conversations with them because that's
Mhm.
their turf, this downtown turf, and they loved seeing it as busy as it is, and I think we put a few extra teams on, so that
Mhm.
was good. Thank you to the Optimists
Yep.
and the Kinsmen, who both the
Mhm.
two service clubs who played a great role. The Optimists with their hamburger setup, right?
They pumped out a lot of hot dogs, burgers, and
It was a
sausages.
little hot for those guys working and talking
Yeah.
to, I think, the Councillor Taylor or Councillor Clark, they're both
Mhm.
members of the Optimist. One of them, their only job was to continue to fill coolers with bottles of water.
Yeah.
He said, and it just about killed me. As soon as I got one more done, it was all sold. I had to fill another one. Right?
Mhm.
It was that kind of a busy day. And
Oh,
then
you know what?
Kinsmen running the 50-50 and how great they did.
And the parking, they helped out with the parking. And parking's one of
Yeah.
the things. All the cars coming in, the Kinsmen getting their teams together to help organize the cars, let them know where to park.
Right.
And the businesses too. There were several businesses like Urix that gave out water and Save
Yeah.
Max liquidation discount.
Yes.
You
And
know,
Uh, And as I said, many that were standing in their own front doorway
I
to
love it.
talk to people. Well, hey, what do you do here? What do you do
Yeah.
here? Right? Whether it's I was in Lockwood Books and
Mhm.
where Susan Ferris's store is, and of course Marty's Pizza.
Yeah. Lewis Baked Goods, the deep dish.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
so good. I
oh,
a great slice
oh.
of pizza from Marty.
Well, Jim Herbert ate two, so I'm ratting him out. Okay. But then he kept going longer than the mayor because he had to go meet Rita at 6:30 at Hepburn Park. Hey, let's
Yes,
talk about Hepburn Park. Right?
absolutely.
It was a very hopping and lively place as part of a downtown festival. But one of the decisions we made last night at council is a reach out to provincial fund on parks,
Mhm.
um, and we're going to try and really about a couple $1 million project of making Hepburn Park a more beautiful place downtown. Now, it used to be that way when the fountain was first installed and what it was like, but wait till you see what can happen to even an old park to make it look better.
I saw an article that was someone posted from back in I think it was like the 70s or something like that. And they were
Yeah.
talking about all the hippies that were congregating in Hepburn
Hey,
Parkette.
hey, I resemble that remark.
They were like, "This is atrocious. What a disgrace for a city to have so many hippies just hanging out in the downtown core."
Yeah, okay. And then there was a time when it was bikers, and then there was times when it was something else. Look, we get it. The downtown is where it's hopping, and it's what we do, right? So, hey, let's
Yeah.
do a couple of upcoming events because there's a couple great ones that will
Mhm.
really fit today. Saturday at the JC's pool, that's July 18th. There's a free swim at the JC's pool, sponsored by the Elgin County Drowning Prevention, from
Mhm.
1:30 to 4. Head on over, free swim. The next week, the July 25th, 1:30 to 4 p.m., sponsored by MP Andrew Lawton, another free swim. We're trying to sponsor out as many of these free swims this year, so it's not hard for kids to do it. But
Mhm.
I know that if we went out and looked right now, Grayden, someplace out there, there's a fire truck spraying a bunch of kids
I
with
love it.
sprayed water too, and they're out every night.
Yeah.
Right? And it was really quite funny because last night we were talking, there was a water report that came to council about
Mhm.
how much water is it accounted for. Because some of our construction projects, of course, aren't metered and you're using water. There's some other things like that. So how many gallons of water it was. Well, I just immediately blamed the fire chief that it was his fault because we're out getting spraying kids at night. And we can't think of a better use of some water here in St. Thomas when it's hot like this to do that. So another of the official plan update sessions on July 29th,
Mhm.
4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Memorial Arena. Many people have been stopping by and giving us input on the future official plan. This is an official plan that will last us a decade or two going forward in our community. So please go give the best you can do.
Mhm.
Music in the Park concert series, continuing on Sundays. You got to go to the city website to see who's up. I saw Tracy Kennedy, am I right, was last week.
Mhm.
But lots of great acts. Scoop and Shop Summer Night Market, that's at the Shaw Dairy Bar,
Yeah.
right? So head on, and that's July 16th,
Mhm.
4 to 9. There's the Stuffy Slumber Party, and I'm missing it because I'm going away. So I don't know what. I got to point at my stuffy because he's back there. Right. The stuffy slumber party, you go 4 to 6:30 at the public library. You bring your stuffy to the library. Before you leave, you tuck them in and you read them a story. There's more details on the website. But then the next morning, guess what happens? You can go pick up your stuffy because he spent the night overnight in the library. We hope they haven't wandered around too much and gone to other rooms, but so that happens that way. So look, there's lots going on, and so that was stuffy story time the next
Mhm.
morning, 10:30 at the public library. You pick up your stuffy, hopefully in your PJs because your stuffy's still sleeping, and
Mhm.
enjoy story time together. This library is just starting to really wow me as to
Yeah,
some
they're
of the
incredible.
neat stuff they do. It's really quite incredible. Also on July 18th is the Positively Elgin Dog Festival for 2026, 10 to 4 p.m. at Pinafore Park. It's in support of Helping Paws Rescue and the St. Thomas Animal Shelter. Kids zone, food, free samples. They're giving away puppies.
I don't
That may
think so.
not be the type of sample they're giving
But if
away.
you want free puppies, go to the animal shelter.
Yeah, right, because they probably have some or kittens
Mhm.
too, right? So,
Mhm.
okay, so lots of stuff going on there. Let's talk a little bit about and you interrupt me if there's any great questions that come along, because
Will
the
do.
purpose of Mayor's update is to answer some of those. But the Housing Accelerator Fund was the
Mhm.
first thing on last night's agenda. And for those that haven't seen some of the social media press today, a very large amount in a cooperative effort where the city gave some land. The YWCA is going to help build the project, much like they did with Tiny Hope, and a great community project of 49 unit, 3.5 story building on the Hiawatha Street, a wasted little piece of property that the city owned, and we tried to figure out what we could do with it. Well, don't your great friends come along and say, if we all worked on this together, you give us a piece of land, we'll start helping with the building, we'll do this is a low income, affordable unit, mostly for seniors. And so
Mhm.
it's what we need to work on in our community. And so that's what's next. We said yes to it, by the way. It's not
Yeah.
something we're not going to do. A couple of other pieces of grant program, one to Eastwood Housing for a couple of affordable units and some seed money to Central United Church, hopefully to work for a preliminary look at how we can do a affordable housing project on their piece of land or even a bigger piece of land next to them. But let's talk about it. Look, this is a housing accelerator fund. We've been recognized as a high performance municipality nationally under
Mhm.
under this fund. As a result, we received $1 million more, an additional $1 million to be invested in affordable housing grant programs over the next 3 years, because we do what we say and we get things done and we're moving forward on both the supportive housing and the affordable housing piece. So top notch. I wish I could name everybody involved, but all of our housing people, all of our communication people, even our planning and building department here and making this happen. But more so, the YWCA playing a huge role here. Lindsey and her team, Lindsey Rice and her team at the YWCA have been just eliminating um, homelessness in their purview, and now working with us on affordable housing for women and seniors in our community.
Mhm.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Um,
it's phenomenal
and you,
work that they're doing.
yeah, and you see
And
more people moving into this Tiny Hope project now. We're in July,
Mhm.
and it's all right. Yeah,
Super exciting. We've got a question in from Chris Patrickman. He's
great.
saying there is a robust discussion on St. Thomas happenings regarding the impeding demolition of the grandstand at Emsley Field. Is this a
Yeah.
done deal?
Well, we have to demolish what's there. There's some safety issues of what's there. The question still before Parks, and it was covered in last year's budget. We're going to rebuild the grandstand. Will it be as big as the one that's there? Not likely. It's not been used to the same capacity, but we're happy to have the input coming in. And I think more than one person in that conversation on St. Thomas Happening said, well, how many of you have gone out and tried to sponsor, tried to find businesses to help sponsor the Emsley Field grandstand or service groups and others. So looking for a total St. Thomas solution to it, much like I just mentioned with the Housing Accelerator Fund. So Chris, thank you for that piece. You're right. it's a unique piece of our heritage, but what can we afford to do? But we have to do some things now because there's a bit of a safety issue with the old concrete bandstand or grandstand.
Hmm. There's also a bit on the heritage property tax relief as well.
Well, we've been trying to look at what is there any other things that other communities do from a heritage property tax relief, and we use our CIP, our community investment program, to help people who are in a heritage district and have to do something from a heritage point of view that might be more expensive than what they would do if they weren't a heritage building or in a heritage district. So we feel pretty comfortable at the moment that we're doing some very good stuff with our community improvement program.
Mm-hmm. And also great news on the piano. There has been years and years of talk of the
Aha!
piano
I'm going
in
to
the
get Billy
parkette beside,
Joel. No,
beside the library there. And what was the news on that?
well, we've finally gone to tender on the little building that will hold the piano, all-weather building, and we will have a piano, outdoor piano or indoor piano, depending on the season, in Westlake Evans Park as part of that neat new area we've been using for street parties, and the chamber just used it, and kind of a town square in behind City Hall and right next to the library. So it's a great little group of cooperative efforts together. So finally that was in the original drawing. We couldn't get it done right. It's done now. It's gone to tender. It should be built this summer so that we have it. Be great.
Super exciting. And then there was another mention in as well last week about looking at the railway lands over by the queso station and
Yes.
getting input on that development as well. And that's
Well, as you and I know, for about the last year, we've been looking to put together a neighborhood plan for the railway lands, and tried to involve all of the landowners. The issue was we got one landowner who's trying to get things done on the railway lands, and then a bunch of other landowners that haven't yet joined in with, we'd like it to be this. So the city's taken maybe a more full control of the railway lands review and what can be done and what should be done. And so, hey, it's summer. Let's get some things going.
Love it. I know they're going to be coming to the Downtown Development Board in September to have a chat with us and share what's going on, which I'm excited about to learn more about it. We've got the Downtown Oktoberfest road closure request has come through.
Yep,
so we've got Talbot Street.
We can do it. Now remember, Oktoberfest is moving a little to the east to give us a bigger space inside the property at the corner of Ross and Talbot. So the road closure will be across Talbot in front of it, and Ross Street from Talbot to Center Street. And I believe we're going to run the train rides from the back of that.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Right. Okay. So, look, it was great to see the train rides happening at Nostalgia Nights too. The families and kids always think that's a great part of the daytime of the event.
Always sold out.
Yeah. No, I think the great people from Port Stanley Rail help us with this a lot, and they ran four times so the kids can get it. And I saw the DDB car with people hanging out the windows and waving at me.
They sure were.
Yeah. And
I was out there in the morning with Earl because there were some holes in the floor that need to be repaired.
You were putting plywood down in the DDB car, so that's pretty good too. Some other neat things from the council meeting last night. The treasurer brought forward two reports, and this treasurer has been very helpful. Adam's been great at bringing forward this. So put an annual treasurer statement on development charges as to where we are at this point, halfway through the year, basically, on development charges coming in. And it's a significant increase over last year's development charges. And then his mid-year budget monitoring report showed us at a bit of a deficit at the halfway point. But that happens sometimes year to year. We'll need to make it up, or we'll need to deal with it in next year's budget. But he's been very open and honest with us about the types of debts we're taking on to do things like build our new wastewater plant, to do the pieces we need to do that we need to pay for at Yarmouth Yards, and that for the next couple of years until those businesses start producing product, there's no income from those factories. So we need to be very careful of where we are. We're okay, as he answered last night when I asked him about our financial situation, and so I take my treasurer as we're okay. He didn't say we were great, and he didn't say we were poor. We've got to keep our eye on the budgeting for the next couple of years.
And what I love too is in the keeping track document that the city released, they've got all the details on that. So they've got, they have the deficit there of nearly $500,000, and it's, and they include all the reasons why. Some of which include, higher than budgeted winter control expenditure. So
anybody who lived here through January through the end of winter, which was late June, it seemed, we had quite a bit more in 2026 snow, salting and sanding and snow removal. So you're right. It fluctuates from one year to another, and it wasn't as bad early winter, the before, but the last half. But you're right. We're honest. We're going to tell you, it cost you more to clear your sidewalks this year. So.
And uncontrollable expenses as well. So, for example, fuel is more expensive. As we all know, fuel has gone up. And if you're running as many vehicles as the city of St. Thomas is, you're going to have a larger expense. You can't budget. You're like, how do you know that the Strait of Hormuz is going to get closed?
Well, and you're going to use an average fuel cost. And when you guess wrong, as has happened to the whole world because of the Iran situation, then you're going to know that we better have a reserve fund to help pay for that. Some of it is, others the deficit spend. One of the other ones is the overtime costs at our fire department. It is hard to be a fireman, and we've had a couple major fires, and we also have some, just rotating extra business at our fire department and our police department too. And so some of those are deficit situations because I know nobody there wants me to send the firemen home.
No, and you've got unexpected.
We need them on site. Right?
Speaking from the downtown's perspective, we've had 2 unexpected fires within our downtown core, and those are expensive to deal with. And as we've talked about before previously, the city of St. Thomas had to deal with the railway ties that all caught on fire.
Yeah.
So you have all these additional, and these aren't small expenses when there's a fire, or the Woodworth building that went up.
Well, and look, I rather enjoy the amount of time we spend looking at our budget and making it work best as we can for our community. But you've just mentioned a number of things that are really threatening us this year from a cost of fuel, cost of labor, a number of anybody in a home knows that inflation has also hit you on just about everything you buy.
Yeah.
And so we've been very lucky at getting our construction RFPs, our estimates coming in under budget. So we're saving some money that way. Even a piece of equipment we purchased has come in a bit less than we thought it would be. But not everything is not being affected by inflation. So we got that to deal with.
Yeah, just add it to your plate.
Yeah. Well, and the new council will be almost the first function they have to do. Is to deal with budget. I mean, I remember my first day as mayor some 8 years ago, and it was okay. Here's the first draft. First draft of what? No.
Yeah.
I knew going in where we were in the budgeting process because we have had such success in the past of finishing our budget in the early December timeframe so that we can get to the street and get cheaper, less expensive construction projects. So,
Well, yeah, and I think one of the things that I learned when we first started this whole process of the mayor's updates was just like how little money you actually have available to do other things outside of
flexible money is there's great big there are reserve funds that cover a bunch, and the treasurer covered some of that last night. But most of the road construction we do is allotted to us from the other levels of government, and you can't just say, "Oh no, I'm going to use that for a new swing set instead." It's allocated for this. There's some provincial transit money that comes in. It's all it can be used for is transit, right? And so, talking to the transit management group today that are doing the surveys of of the master plan for transit. And we really did talk about how much it costs to run a transit system and how little of that cost comes in on fares,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's a whole expense. It's out there, and it isn't covered by other levels of government. It's the taxpayers of the city of St. Thomas that truly have to pay the large bill on that.
But that's another exciting announcement as well. There's an expansion on the Middlesex regional transit, Middlesex, Oxford, St. Thomas, Elgin County.
The Middlesex Connects program,
Yep.
that had that route. I think route number 3 was London to St. Thomas. There's now been a couple more additional runs a day, and changing. There's a little bit happening, and it's happening in August. We should probably talk about it when we get to the next one. By the way, folks, tonight is July 14th, and we have to tell people it's July 14th. So I just remembered that. But we will talk about what those changes are and where the route may go. Some may go to Victoria Hospital and White Oak Small. Some may go off to Dorchester and come back. It's just great, the connection we've now established and continue to grow to the City of London for the residents of St. Thomas without cars or needing a transit way to get there.
Well, even someone like myself, if I can take public transit, I will. I like examples like Los Angeles and Long Beach, for example. You can take an Uber, and it's going to cost you like $120, or you can spend $3 on public transit. Now, it's going to take you 3 hours to get somewhere that an Uber would take you half an hour. But at the same time, you got
to put that one against the other. And of course, you're talking about ride sharing programs. I'd like to see us having a greater depth of that in St. Thomas also. Our taxi services fulfill a whole need too. Like, we got a bunch of different ways we can move people around. We need to call it all transit. It needs to be all part of the master plan. So let's continue to talk about what's the better way to do that.
I love it.
It's going to be hard for me to shut this off. Because in this job, and certainly all the counselors are the same way, you're really planning 8 to 10 months ahead of time. And you need to know about something that's going to happen then, when budgeting is, when will we need to buy this, how will we budget for it? And here we are now, within 4 months of the year of the election, or 3 months with the election, with the budget to follow right after that. And I won't get to play a role in that this year. So it's going to be, okay, I'm still going to give.
What are you going to do with all your time?
I'm going to give my opinions.
Yeah.
I keep sharing with the council until I've had a number of people, and you know it, we've had a number of people into this office to talk about running, those that are running, and they're not all from the existing council, there's some others. But for those, I'll make the announcement again, anybody else running in this community that hasn't yet spent time with some of the existing council member or here in the mayor's office, learning about what is hot and working in our community and our opinion of why our strategic plan should be maintained, please come do it. It's not hard. Call Jennifer here in the office and set up an appointment with me. I'm taking the next 2 weeks off. I have a new granddaughter I've not met coming this Thursday, and we're going 2 weeks summer vacation for the mayor. Now,
this is the first time I think we've ever gone 2 weeks without having a show.
Yeah, I think we're good. We talked about, we could interrupt some of this, but I think I'd like to take 2 full weeks and spend some family time right now in July so that we can go hard in August and September before the election.
And we talked about it too. If somebody comes up, and then let us know, and then we'll pop in. We can always do a 5-minute, 10-minute update, a quick little piece.
Well, we keep looking for more and more questions. Apparently, we've answered them all because we're not getting many people asking us great new questions. So anyway, save them up. We've got lots of stuff we can do. We're back for our meeting in the middle of August, and we'll do mayor's update all around that too.
And Margaret Knight says, in relation to the grandstand at Emsley Field, in her opinion, a rebuild is better and beats tearing down heritage buildings.
Well, we're not, but it's unsafe. We need to take down what's there anyway and decide what's new. So I understand we should never tear down a heritage building that still has use at all in our community. I get that, right? But we need to make something like a ball diamond as functional as a ball diamond as we can make it to. We all know Emsley Field is one of the oldest ball fields in existence. Right?
Which is incredible to think about.
Right.
Yeah.
But even that grandstand that's attached to it wasn't there when that ball diamond was first built. So we over time have to renew and keep our city safe and the facilities we own safe. So thus we'll redo Hepburn Park and we'll redo Emsley Field, and of course we will.
And Sharon Anderson is saying her birthday's on Thursday, so happy birthday, Sharon.
Yes.
And I was also at the St. Thomas Elgin Home Builders Association golf tournament, the charity golf tournament yesterday. And it was
because you like to stand out in the sun
and take photos.
Yeah. Looked like a great crowd and a lot of smiles. Looked like a lot of great things were happening with our home builders. And quite often in the middle of the summer, if they can get a day away from a building site, and not all of them can because of what they have to do, it's a great fun for them. And between Angela and the rest of the group at the home builders, way to go, way to keep us going, keep us housed, and let's continue to work together.
Ian's saying, I noticed today that Google now lists St. Thomas at 77,000 people. Whether that is true or not, it doesn't reduce the amazing work being done in the city to stay ahead of such a population jump. Thank you for staying on top of everything.
Yeah, I don't know what they're keeping in that number, and so we'll have to watch it. Census is being done now, so in a not too distant future, we'll get to know the real number. I keep suggesting we've passed 50, but I'm not going to suggest we're yet at 70. But I'll wait and see. I guess I can be proven wrong.
Right? We'll find out.
I don't know what they count as the borders. So,
Margaret McKnight is saying her birthday's on July 23rd. So happy birthday, Margaret. She's one of our longest viewers.
We will not be on when it's your birthday. If I remember, I'll send you a nice happy birthday. But with grandkids and puppies attacking me for 2 weeks, I'm going to be pretty busy.
Yeah, no kidding. Did we talk about Hepburn Parkette getting a makeover?
Yeah, huge amount. We're asking the federal government or one of the other governments for a large sum of money on the rebuild of Hepburn Parkette. They still have to say yes, but we think we meet all the criteria for it. Hepburn Parkette has been minorly moved around a little bit over the last couple of decades, but it needs a full makeover, and we're looking forward to doing that.
Absolutely. And did we give the shout out to the 35% and plus reduction in homelessness as well?
Well, the Canadian homelessness, whatever club that is or whatever group that is, recognized St. Thomas again this week as being one of the leaders in Canada on what we've done with homelessness, and happy to see those numbers come out from them. I believe it's better than that already. But way to go. Thank you. We'll take the accolades, and I'll give it to Danielle and the social service team and groups like Eastwood and Lindsey Rice at YWCA and stuff for all the work they've done to help us. And then I guess I better say for sure, Brian at the end and his team at the end. Look, an emergency shelter is still necessary in our community, but there's less and less people there as we move homelessness into housing. So great work, all of you. Thank you.
Totally. I want to give a shout out as well to Spice Skewers. It's a new business that's opened up right on Talbot and Horton Street. It's the same owners that
I saw the new sign.
That were running the franchise there. That was the Shelby's. And so they've opened up their own business now called Spice Skewers.
There's a local business right there in town, right? Part of a national chain, still local. So local owners doing the right thing. So way to go.
Yep. So it's the same management there. And I popped in today. Great food. So shout out to them. Pop in if you can. Help support their new business they've started up.
Has anybody else noticed that Grayden continues to go out for lunch and not invite the mayor? I went and sat by myself today at lunch.
I
only had like a very short period of time to get out to eat because I hadn't eaten breakfast. And then get back to work for the number of things that were coming in this afternoon. So I don't blame you for this one. It's okay.
This was the same for me. I got my hair cut because I've got it. Like I said that I was going on my way to a meeting, and I was like, you know what? I have half an hour because my haircut got done a little bit faster. So I popped into Spice Skewers, met one of the owners there, and we had a great, lovely chat. Got my lunch, and then I ran over to Streamliners for my meeting.
Well, I'll tell you, as you wander downtown like we did with Nostalgia Nights, so many great places to eat downtown now too.
Well, here's what's really exciting as well.
Bites. We already mentioned Marty. There's just so much going on in downtown St. Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Taco House.
Oh, Aurora she did such a phenomenal. They have margaritas now there.
No, we gave them approval
Tacos.
for licensing. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
right. I mean, yeah, it's a little too close to the mayor's office for margaritas, but we'll see. Yeah.
Dangerous, dangerous.
Yes.
And we should also give a shout out to Urix Pharmacy. They're still managing with the effects of the
Yeah.
fire that was beside their business. So help support them
Yeah.
if you can.
Well, yeah, Peter and Jeff and the whole team over there at Urix, get your business back up and going. We're doing our best to move approvals through as fast as we can and to not get in the way of what you need to do to get your business up. So many people talk about the contributions the Urix family, including Ed, right,
Mhm.
have done for our community. And so, way to go. Keep up the hard work. I know it's a hot year trying to do this, but look at they got such a limited little space in there right now because of the fire. But what were they doing Saturday? Handing out
Handing out
water at the
water.
front door, right? I mean, that's a family business and a local business that cares about the community it does business in, and I couldn't be prouder of the team that works there. And hopefully, you're all back to work in the great big store, all rebuilt
Mm-hmm.
as quickly as we possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Dave McCormick's got a comment about the numbers being presented on Facebook are inaccurate as I know them. The city should respond with total transparency. Dave, which numbers are you talking about? I just want to double check on that.
The
Follow up.
population one.
The population, obviously, yeah, that's
Yeah.
77,000. I think
Yeah.
that's Google just kind of like extrapolating some random number. I don't know.
Right. And I think we found whether some of the other social media, including Google and Facebook, it doesn't almost matter what we say. They're not taking it down. They're just going to let it fade out. So
Mhm.
we do our best to keep look. And we've got a lot of other ways for you to get real good information right now.
Mhm.
Speak Out St. Thomas, the new piece to
Mhm.
our website where you can go in and give your opinion of programs and such in St. Thomas and all of the different things we're doing. Mayor's Update has been a transparent piece where you can express your words and ours
Yeah.
for 8 years now. Grayden and I have grown old doing this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But as we were mentioning today, our communications piece in St. Thomas has so many entries now on social media, be it Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all the rest of just
10,000 on
talking.
Facebook alone. Very impressive.
Yeah, no. So you want information, you can use ours, or you can go to St. Thomas Happenings.
Mhm. Oh, I love it. Oh, I should mention too, we've created the Downtown St. Thomas Sales and Events page for sharing out
Yes,
downtown events and
and we
sales that
need your
merchants are
help.
having. Yes.
Right. If you see a neat new thing about a new business, like the one we were just talking about, right? Like it, share it, send it to your friends. Let all your friends know that you've seen a new business in the downtown. And if we all do that, every time we see
Mhm.
something on the downtown sales and stores page, then it will just become. Um, it was amazing how many people, even on Saturday, were downtown going, "I didn't know we had that. I didn't know these people are here."
And they've been
Right?
there for like 4, 5, 10
Oh
years.
no, these aren't showed up yesterday kind of businesses. Some of them have been there a long time, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No. Oh,
That's
Reed's
the best we
Records.
can do.
They had a
Yes.
concert in there. It was phenomenal. So I
Hmm.
popped in, got some shots of that. Oh, Studio Arts had the music in Hepburn Parkette, which was also
Yes. Well,
fantastic.
there was all sorts of music in Hepburn Parkette, right?
Hmm.
And way to go to Studio Arts because they tend to play a lot of music that I know the words to. So I'm kind of happy having
Yeah.
Brian and the team and that whole team do that. But look, it's just great.
Yeah. What a wonderful week in St. Thomas this past week has been. So,
What
yeah,
a great way to start the summer, if you want to call it that. Boy, it seems
totally.
like the summer just fell on us in full 30-degree weather, but it still is only the 14th of July. We've got a little bit of this summer left to go. So looking forward to it.
Hmm. So, yeah. Well, Mayor, thanks again. Appreciate your
Thank
time.
you. Thank you. And again, fair warning, the next 2 weeks, not likely to be a mayor's update unless something big happens that we all should get on and talk about.
Hmm.
And we'll keep you updated individually on social media of what we're up to and what's going on. So thanks for coming and joining us tonight. Please have fun. Please enjoy some of those free swims I talked about. And I wish I had my phone right in front of me to tell you where the fire truck's spraying kids tonight, but they're out there. Yeah.
Take a look at their Facebook page. You'll be able to see where they are. They always post it.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks again, Mayor. Thanks to all our
Thank you.
viewers, our sponsors, everybody, and we'll see
Yeah.
you in 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Thanks.